right, morning, kiddo. Let's get going. Time's a-wasting.
Hi there, I'm Steve Phillips, Superintendent at Newburgh Public Schools, and today I have with me one of our awesome bus drivers, Brian Allen. And I wanted to just introduce him to everybody and have him talk a little bit about how long you've been driving bus and why Newburgh.
Why, let's see, I got into busing because I was a single parent. So it was just an easy schedule to have as a single parent, and I was working managing clubs, which was one of those things I just had to get out of. You know, just never had any peace. So I wanted to get as far away from that as possible. I was like, well, hey, what about being a school bus driver? That's about as far away from it as I can get. And then it was just better as being as a single parent, and started that back in, I think, 2008.
Have you worked for First Student and STA the entire time?
First Student, almost all the time. I've done some work with PCC, driving for them for a little while. That didn't last very long. It was hard as a touring musician.
Faces on a blackened sea. Pray for them, but it's too late for me. Final bell is ringing endlessly.
So you mentioned like another gig, and what is that?
Oh, my music. Well, I just been a touring international musician for, God, a long time, you know.
What's the name of your band?
Currently, I'm with a band called Trauma out of the Bay Area, and we're getting ready we're tracking it all the way to Florida starting Sunday morning.
Wow, where's your first gig at?
Orlando.
Orlando.
We're going to start in Florida and make our way back to the West Coast, and then head up north to the Northwest here. We got some shows up in the Northwest, and then we'll head to Denver, start heading towards the Midwest. I think Michigan, Indiana, you know, different parts of the country there, and end up in New York, and make our way down to the whole eastern seaboard, and our last show will be in St. Petersburg, Florida.
So you start in Florida and you end in Florida?
Yeah,
Wow.
It's about 18,000 miles we'll be traveling. Yeah, so it's going to be a long trek.
So you were one of the drivers that were with First Student, and then they lost the contract here in Newburgh, and STA came on board, and you went with STA.
Yeah.
And now...
like, I think about 10 of us did.
About 10 of you. Okay.
Yeah.
And why?
We didn't want to leave our home. You know, this is our home. I've been driving, God, for Newburgh since well over, at least maybe 10 years. You know, and we've seen some of these kids since they're little, up till high school, and you know, we just didn't want to leave. You know, these are our kids, and, you know, they become a part of you, you know, because we're the first thing they see in the morning. So, you know, you kind of set the pace for the kids, you know, and that's why when some of the, you know, drivers over the years, they get all crabby. I'm like, oh, dude, you know, you setting the pace for these kids right off the bat. You're the first face they see in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, maybe not be so crabby, you know.
Well, I appreciate that.
You know.
What's your favorite part of driving school bus?
Well, the kids, you know, it's every driver's different. Some like it really quiet, you know. I've been around loud things almost all my life, so if they're a little nutty and loud, as long as they stay in their seat, I don't care, you know, how loud they get, because it doesn't sway me any, you know. And I'm a little louder than most, you know. get back in your seat. I'm like, okay, bus driver, you know. And you got to remind them every 2 minutes because they got a short attention span, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like a Cracker Jack box. You never know what you're gonna get. You know, it's always entertaining, and you have your bad days, you know, as a driver, where something just rubs you wrong, and it's tough. You know, you got to really focus, and you got tons of distractions everywhere. The kids, chuckleheads out there driving, just weather, anything, you know.
So any message to the your kids that you drive every day, or their parents?
Be good for Becca. I'll just miss them, you know. A couple were kind of mad at me the other day, you know, because I had to put a couple of name tags on there, you know, so Becca kind of knows who they are, and they're like, I don't want to have to sit here. You know, well, Becca doesn't know you, I know you, you got to give her a break. And so a couple were mad at me a little bit, but
It's all right.
That happens, you know.
All right. Well, thanks for being here. Thanks for all you do.
Yeah. Thanks.